Hey guys, so today's video is a very impromptu video. I literally decided to do this video about 20 minutes ago because I was thinking and I was like, well, I need to put on some makeup, so why don't I do kind of like a get ready style with me video? But then I was thinking, is that really going to be helpful to my audience? And then I thought, well, what if I put a holiday twist on it and do it in a kind of day to night style, but like daytime, and then like to a holiday party at night. So that's kind of what we're doing today, and right now I'm just kind of filming the daytime portion. I'm literally just going to meet with my group about this group project that we're working on in about 2 hours, I think, so I will have a bit of time to kind of wear this makeup, so it will be a little bit more realistic day to night wear, probably be about 6 hours of wear in between when I'm filming them. So let's just hop into the day look. Since this is more of a simple everyday look, we're going to start with the face first. So I'm going to go in with my Dr. Brant Luminizing Primer. I've been loving this primer for probably the past 3 months, I would say. I've been using it for quite a while. It's almost gone, and that makes me sad because I'm probably not going to purchase this because it's on the expensive side. But this is kind of the first luminizing primer that I've ever tried. Before, I've gone for more mattifying primers because my skin tends to be on the oilier side, but in the summertime, not so much in the wintertime. So in the wintertime, I just kind of go with like a normal smoothing primer, but I've been loving that this primer nourishes my skin a little bit and just gives me, it's a pretty subtle glow that it gives, but I feel like it really just makes my foundation wear really nicely throughout the day. So I'm just kind of spreading this all over the skin, just going with whatever your favorite primer is. You can definitely go in with a more long-lasting primer if you have a favorite one of those. I just would rather go in with this primer because I know that I have a very long-lasting foundation to put on top, and I know that this will just help it look and wear really beautifully. Next, I'm going to go in with my Covergirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation, and I have mine in the shade L10. And I'm just going to pump out a pump of that on the back of my hand, and I'm just kind of going to get some on my finger. And you guys know what I like to do. I like to kind of dot it all over my face and then go in with a sponge and just blend it out. This was actually one of my November favorites, and it's kind of surprising because I put away this foundation for a couple months, I feel like, but lately I've just been loving it. I love how long it lasts on my skin. I feel like this is slightly more full, not full coverage, it just has more coverage than the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, but it has a better wear time on me. I feel like if you like Maybelline Fit Me, maybe give this one a try too because it's also really good. And like I said, go in with whatever long wearing foundation you have, or just whatever your favorite foundation is. I would just suggest a long wear foundation because this look is intended to last all day long from morning to night, whatever you have going on. And a long wear foundation will perform better in that way. Next, I'm going to go in and conceal my under eyes. You guys know this is nothing new. I do this every time. I go in with my Pixi Correcting Concentrate in Brightening Peach. I'm getting a little low. I have a bit of pan. It's not really pan because it's a jar. But I'm just going to apply some of that with my ring finger to my dark circles. I've never found a way that conceals my dark circles better than color correcting. I mean, I know that's kind of the point of it, but I don't know, since I started color correcting, I've just never gone back to using like just concealer because I feel like it is nowhere near as effective. Then I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm going to apply a little bit of this under my eyes. Lately I've been doing it in kind of like lines because this concealer is, dare I say, a little bit light for me. It looks okay once it's blended out, but I do find that I have to bring it down onto my cheeks a little bit so it doesn't look too light. So now that that's all blended in, I just want to set everything down, and to do that I'm going to take my Essence All About Matte Setting Powder. So I'm just going to set my face down with the Essence All About Matte Setting Powder and my e.l.f. Tapered Highlighting Brush. I do always make sure to kind of blend over my concealer with my sponge once more before I set it, just so we don't have any creases, because if you set creases in, they're never gonna go away. And then I'm just gonna press that powder in there. So I have this other video idea that I am going to film very soon. I think it's gonna have to wait till I'm on winter break from school, because it's gonna be kind of a longer video to film, and honestly the last couple weeks of the semester are hell, to put it nicely. They are very workload heavy, so I have lots of homework to do, and I just don't think I have that kind of time to film that kind of video, but I want to do a full face using Beauty Guru's favorite techniques. I'm just going to take my Wet n Wild big fluffy powder brush and dip into the All About Matte setting powder. Just set the rest of my face down really nicely. This will also help the wear of the foundation kind of last all day. But yeah, I want to do a full face using Beauty Guru's favorite techniques. Some of these techniques, I tried to find like all new ones, but I have tried some of them before. They're just techniques that people have been mentioning for years, and I've just ended up trying them out. So I'm super excited to film that one really soon for you guys because I found some really interesting ones that I'm very excited to test out. So I'm going to go back in with the Essence powder and just my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, and first I'm just going to hit my smile lines and really like deeply set them. I'm just going to dip back into the powder again, but I'm going to tap my brush off, and then I'm just going to go back in right under my eyes where I usually crease. I found that this really does kind of diminish the amount of creasing I get through the day. I think it's just kind of how my eyes are shaped that I do get creasing pretty easily in my under eye concealer, so I really try to take preventative measures against that. And then I just want to warm up the complexion a little bit with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This bronzer is so nice, you guys. Like, if you have not tried this, where have you been? I'm almost completely out of mine, and I'm really proud of myself for like actually using up most of the product in here. And B, it also makes me sad because I really want to buy some more. I've also heard really amazing things about the L'Oreal, what's it called? It's like the Glam Bronzer. It's a gigantic compact. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but again, it is a gigantic compact. But I think I will end up just repurchasing the Butter Bronzer again because, I mean, it's just the best, you guys. It's so blendable, so smooth. I think I might get the regular bronze shade though, because right now I have a light bronze, and I want to try the regular bronze shade. I'm also going to go in with my favorite blush at the moment, and that's the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten Baked Blush in the shade Tropic Hues. You guys know I can't get enough of this blush. I can't stop using it. And I'm just taking that on a Shop Miss A F14. Look at how like terribly bent my brush came. I have to like go online and find a tutorial on how to reshape the brush because I tried washing it and that didn't do anything, so I gotta try something new. But I'm just kind of applying this to the apples of my cheeks. The brush itself is very soft, and I really like how it applies blush, but it's just been out of shape, like really badly. So I'm focusing most of the color on the apple of my cheek, but I am blending it backwards and kind of up into my hairline. So now that I've applied my bronzer and my blush, I'm just going to go in with that powder brush that I used to apply my translucent powder and just kind of blend over that to make sure that we have no harsh lines. Next, we're going to go in with highlighter, and I'm going to go in with my Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting kit. You guys know, I literally use this every single day. Like, I hardly ever use any other highlighters on camera, but that's because this is literally my favorite. I use it every day. I'm going to go in with the Champagne shade, which, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but I hit pan on. I'm pretty proud of myself about that. I'm thinking of doing a products I hit pan on in 2018 video, maybe towards the end of the year. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. But I'm just applying that with my AOA Studio F19 brush, and I'm just going to hit the tops of the cheekbones. Get a little bit more for the bridge, the tip of my nose, bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, of course the other cheekbone. So now that we have highlighter on, it is time for brows. I am just going to go in with my NYX Tame Frame brow pencil, or not brow pencil, brow pomade. And I'm just going to speed right through this because I feel like brows are not that interesting to watch, and I am definitely not an expert at doing my brows. Now that I have kind of the basic shape of my brows, I'm going to I'm going to set them with the Essence Make Me Brow. I have mine in the shade Blonde. And I'm just going to kind of comb this through my brows in an upward direction, just to make them look a little bit fluffier and more full. This brow gel already does that because it does have some fibers in there, so it does add a little bit of fill-in, but I wanted a little bit more, so I went in with the brow pomade. So now we're going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to keep it really simple because honestly, this is what I would do if I was doing a day to night look, or if I knew I was going to put on more makeup later, which I am today. I'm I'm going to go in with the Essence I Heart Color Intensifying Eye Primer. Any eye primer that you have will work, but I do highly suggest that you prime your lids beforehand. I'm just applying this all over my eyelid, up to my brow bone. I really love this one because it has a little bit of a tint to it, and I think it really does extend the wear of my eyeshadow. I always wear eye primer when I'm going to do this because I have very oily eyelids, and I feel like if I do not kind of set down my eyelid, I get mascara transfer. That pretty much happens any day that I don't wear eyeshadow, but I feel like it makes life easier if you do it when you're doing this. And then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Essence All About Matte Setting Powder. Sometimes I don't set my eyelids when I'm doing an eyeshadow look, but since we're kind of wearing this makeup throughout the day, I am going to set these down because, like I said, I have oily eyelids. So I'm just using that e.l.f. highlighting brush to kind of set those down because we don't want any creasing. And then, this is super complicated, guys. Like, you better listen up for this one. So we're going to take the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and just a little fluffy brush. This one's from AOA Studio. It's the E130, and I'm just going to fluff this through my crease. This step is just going to add a little bit of depth to your eyes and provide a really nice foundation for the look that we're going to go in with later. I'm not being super precise with this. If it gets on the lid, that's fine. I'm actually going to kind of brush some onto the lid as well. I love keeping it all matte on the eyes when I'm going to go in with a different, maybe more complicated look later, because I feel like it just really provides a nice canvas for me to work with. And then I think I'm going to smudge a little bit of that under my lower lash line, so I'm just going to take my trusty Coastal Scents brush. You guys know I use this all the time. It's like a little chubby shader brush, and I'm just going to run that with some bronzer under my lower lash line. I feel like adding just a little bit of shadow down here really makes a huge difference. It just makes my eyes look really big and awake. And then I'm going to go in with that Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, excuse me, and then that champagne shade just on my pinky, just to save time. This is an everyday look. I'm just going to pop that in my inner corners. And that just opens up your eyes and draws a little bit more attention to them. So next it is time to set the face, and to do that I'm going to use Alleyglide's 3-step set. First I'm going to go in with a more dewy setting spray. This is the Valjean Labs Glow Mist. I got this from TJ Maxx. It is so nice. And I'm just going to kind of douse my face in that. This setting spray really just kind of melts all the powders down. Look at how blinding that made our highlight. Woo, I love it. But it just makes everything look a little bit more natural. And then I'm going to go in with my sponge and kind of press that in a little bit. This also gets rid of any of those like droplet marks if any came off. And then I'm going to really lock it in with the Makeup Revolution Sport Fix Setting Spray. You could also use the Urban Decay All Nighter, but this is the Poor Man's Urban Decay All Nighter. I haven't tried the Milani one though. I think I'm going to try that one next after I run out of this one. But I'm just going to apply this to my face. And then once again, go in with the sponge to pat out any water droplets. You can wear whatever lip color you like. I would personally recommend wearing something a little bit more natural, just because it'll be a little bit easier to kind of work around when we go into the nighttime look. Like if I were to wear like a really bright berry like liquid lipstick, that could just potentially cause some bleeding, some staining, just all that. So personally, when I'm doing one of these looks, I stick with something a little bit more natural. Today I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Aquarius Gloss. This is one of my absolute favorites for every day. There is that. Oh, I forgot mascara. How could I forget mascara? So next I'm going to go in with my lash curler. Yes, I have a little bit of mascara on from earlier in the day. I did do like 5-minute makeup. I think I'm going to do a 5-minute finals makeup video because it's all I've been wearing lately. I like don't wake up early enough in the morning anymore to do my makeup for school, so that's what I'm doing lately. So I'm just going to very gently curl my lashes. I know you're not supposed to do this when you have mascara on, but I go in really gently and I just give it one little zhuzh. So then I'm going to go in with a bit more of my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I would also suggest going in with more of a buildable mascara, or a mascara that you know builds well on itself. This mascara is definitely one of those for me. I feel like I can add coat after coat after coat and it still looks really nice. Just gets more voluminous and bold. Alright guys, so that is going to complete the everyday portion of this video. So stay tuned if you guys want to see how I take this look to something a little bit more seductive, a little bit more Christmassy, and fun for the nighttime. Alright guys, so I am back for the nighttime portion of this look. I've had this makeup on for a couple of hours and I feel like I'm looking a little bit shiny. So the first thing I'm going to do is powder my face a little bit with the Essence All About Matte Setting Powder, and once again, my Wet n Wild powder brush is going to get a little bit on there, tap off the excess because we don't want to overload our skin with too much powder, and just kind of tap where I feel like I'm a little shinier than I want to be. I'm also kind of noticing that this blemish right over here peeked through a bit, so I'm just going to go in with my Fit Me concealer again, but this time I'm going to blend it in with more of a precise brush. So I'm going to blend that in with my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush, and I'm going to use that little tiny side that I just held up. I'm going to take the concealer and just do a quick little teeny tiny dot right there, because I don't really want to overload the skin because we have already put on foundation. And then I'm just going to really lightly press over that. And then I'm just going to lightly press over that with a sponge so it kind of sinks back in to my skin. I also kind of noticed that my glasses marks are quite visible. If you're going to put your glasses back on, you really don't have to worry about this, but if you were going to put in contacts or something, or if you had sunglasses on, just tap this out with your sponge and then go in with a teeny tiny bit of concealer. Just tap that out with your sponge once again. I find that if I blend forward towards like the bridge of my nose, these just disappear much more quickly and effectively than if I blend backwards. So sometimes at this point I will add a little bit more bronzer or a little bit more blush or even a little bit more highlighter, but I feel like as of right now that's all looking pretty good. So I do want to hop in with the eyes, but you guys know how I like to do my eye tutorials. I usually do one eye off camera and one eye on camera, so I'm going to go do this eye off camera and then I'll hop back on to do this eye with you guys. Alright guys, so let's hop into the eye look. So I decided to use the Beaute, however you say it, Grandiose palette for this look, because it did come in this month's BoxyCharm. So I usually like to do looks with the palettes that come in the BoxyCharm of that month, just because I feel like it's something that a lot of people have, so it'd be pretty easy for them to recreate the look that I create. But here is the look that I created. I started out doing a halo eye and then I didn't like that, so then I did just kind of a half, not really even cut crease, but I did like that kind of glitter liner in the crease, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So let's hop right into the tutorial. So first I'm going to hop in with this shade Clove, and I am just going to take this on an AOA Studio E128, and I'm just going to really load that up on my brush because this is going to be our transition shade, so I do want quite a bit of this in my crease. And I'm just kind of blending back and forth using windshield oh geez, we got real crazy with that one. Using windshield wiper motions until I have enough built up in there, and then I'm going to take my M533, which is just a big old bare fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend because I got a little crazy with that shade, not gonna lie. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Rose right here, which is kind of a satiny hot pink shade, and I'm just going to take that same exact brush and just load it up, and I'm just going to kind of sweep this through my crease. I am keeping it lower than I kept that peach shade, just because if you kind of blow pink out too much on your eye, it can look like you're a little bit sick, which is not what we're going for. So I kind of want this to be a little bit softer in the crease, because I am going to actually end up going in with Poppy, which is that shade right here, on a little Luxie, I think this is the mini tapered brush. And this shade actually comes off much brighter than it appears in the pan, which I really don't mind because that's kind of the shade that I was going for. And I'm going to start working this into my outer corner and also my crease. You do really want to make sure that you're tapping off your brush before you go in with these shadows, because they do have a little bit of fallout and you already have your face done. And especially if you're like just doing this look in the bathroom at work, if you have like an office party or something, you definitely want to be careful. So next I'm going to go back in with Clove, just really quick on a Shop Miss A E130 brush. It's more of a fluffy brush. Not loading my brush up quite as much as I did before, but I'm going to just focus on blending out that Poppy shade. And then once again going in with my M533, which is totally bare, just to diffuse those edges even further. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Primrose right here, which is this beautiful like bronzy gold shade. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to press that on kind of the inner half of my lid with my finger. Oh, look how intensely that goes on. So now that I've got that built up to the intensity that I want, I'm going to go in with that Luxie brush again that we used Poppy on with no additional product, and I'm just going to kind of run that through my crease right along where we put Primrose, and then also on kind of the outer edge of my eye, just where Primrose and Poppy meet. When I get to this point on my other eye, I was feeling very meh about this look. I almost wiped it off and started over again, but then I thought, well, what can I do to jazz this up a bit? And so I'm actually going to take the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Pure Intentions, and I'm just going to wipe a little bit of this on the back of my hand, right here. And then I'm going to go in with my Essence Precise Liner Brush. This is such an amazing brush from the drugstore, guys. If you don't own this, pick it up next time you're at Ulta. It's like $2, and it is so super thin. I'm just going to kind of pop this in the inner portion of my crease, kind of where Primrose and Poppy meet. And you want to kind of lean down while you do this so your eyes stay open, so it doesn't transfer and go where you don't want it. And I'm only taking this about 3/4 of the way through my crease. So I'm just going to kind of lean back so that my eyes stay open while this dries, and then we will go in with the second coat in just a second. Now that that first little line has had a little bit of time to kind of set and dry, I am going to go in with a second layer. So I'm just following the line that we created before. Alright, so now that that like glitter liner has had a chance to dry a little bit, we're going to go back in with the shade Primrose. And I'm going to take that on my AOA Studio E122 brush, and I'm just kind of going to focus the color on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to go kind of right along where we messed up the glitter and just kind of wiggle back and forth to just kind of further carve out that shape. So now that we've done that, I think we need some winged liner. I got to this point in the look and I'm like, you know what? I like this, but I need just a little something more. So I'm going to go in with my Essence Longlasting Eyeliner pen, and I'm just going to create a little wing. I feel like my wing is a bit wonky, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of concealer and clean that up. I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and then I'm just going to take a little flat liner brush like this. Oh, is this one dirty? A little bit. We're going to clean that off real quick. And what I like to do is wipe some concealer on the back of my hand. We don't want too much to do this. And then I just kind of load up the flat side of my brush. That, and then I kind of just like to stamp it right over or under my wing just to kind of clean it up and sharpen it up a bit. And then I just kind of do little pressing motions, and I get some more concealer if I need to until that wing is like completely covered up. So I think those wings are as even as we're gonna get it. I feel like as soon as I get on camera, I cannot do winged liner to save my life. But we are gonna finish up the eyes really quick. So I wanna go in to the lower lash line, and I'm gonna start with the shade Clove, once again, which is that beautiful, beautiful peachy shade. And I'm gonna take this on my AOA Studio E132. which is just kind of a nice little pencil brush. And I'm going to start smoking this out underneath my lower lash line. And then I'm going to hop in with the shade Poppy one more time. But this time I'm going to take it on a little bit more dense of a brush. It's a smudger brush. It's from the Vintage Cosmetic Company, and it's called Step 3 Go Girl Go. This was also in a BoxyCharm a couple months ago. I love these brushes. And I'm going to smudge this closer to my lashes, kind of wiggle it back and forth until I build up the color. And I'm just going to buff over that with the pencil brush that we used to apply Clove, just to make sure it's nice and blended out. We don't want harsh lines. And then finally, we're gonna finish the eye look off. Oops, am I out of focus? Yes, I was. I'm sorry, guys. And so we're gonna finish off the look with a inner corner highlight, and I'm gonna take the shade Jasmine. And what brush should I use for this? Oh, I used my Alamar Cosmetics, the little packing shader brush. I'm just gonna load that up on the tip and then pack that on my inner corner. This makes a beautiful inner corner highlight. And then for my brow bone, I'm going to go in with this shader brush from the Morphe Copper Dream Set. This one's just a little less densely packed, and it doesn't quite deposit the product quite so heavily, which is what I really prefer for my brow bone because I don't like it to look too harsh. So now we're just going to go in with a bit more mascara. I'm going to once again go in with my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I couldn't remember what it was called for a second. And comb this through my lashes just because some eyeshadow can fall on them and then they are less intense. Plus, I feel like this eye look is just more dramatic, so it calls for big lashes. So finally, we're gonna finish up the look with lips, and I'm gonna be super basic and go in with a peachy nude. This one is from Smashbox and it's called Famous. It's really pretty. So I'm just gonna apply this all over my lips. So now that I'm kind of looking at my face, I do feel like I could use a little bit more bronzer. So I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer once again. And I'm just going to swirl my brush in there a little bit and just apply that to where I applied bronzer earlier. I feel like a more intense eye look just calls for a little bit more bronzer because your eyes get more intense, so your face kind of needs to be equally defined, if you know what I mean. Then I'm going to go in with that fluffy powder brush once again just to kind of blend over that. And then I'm just going to take the spoolie that's on the end of my brow brush and just kind of comb my brows back into place. You can add some more brow gel at this point if you want to, but I find that if I just comb them back up, they're usually okay. And guys, I think that actually completes this look. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this style of video. I really hope that you found it helpful. I had so much fun making it. I've never done one of these kind of videos on my channel, and I thought it was really fun. And please let me know if you recreate this look for like a holiday party or like a work party. Just let me know. You can always tag me on Instagram. I would love to see it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!